I think the way they're gonna do it is not only will they release the Elation flagship main push, they will also release enemies that will counter Remembrance. I'm talking Grievous Wound, Torn Mail, Anti-Heal, right? Max HP reduction, right? Heal logging, guys. You literally cannot heal with heal log. And then the sustain for Elation is gonna be a fucking shielder. Bro, honestly, I don't think there's another unit with a gap as wide as Finance ass chips, bro. Hey guys, Mr. Star back at it again, and it appears we are gonna be having our daily dose of war once again. This is... I lost my train of thought. This is gonna be Pure Vision's 4.1 statistics from Prydwen themselves, so it's not gonna be a tier list, but specifically how a unit is gonna be performing in our latest update of Pure Vision, which happened around 5 or 6 days back. Alright, so we are gonna take a look into this over here, and then in a separate video we'll go through our Pom-Pom Anomaly Arbitration statistics. So going in immediately. Oh. Wow. Remembrance flagship is still absolutely destroying Pure Fiction. And it's not even like destroying by a little bit, it's destroying by a lot, by the way. It's 39k across the board for the version 3 main push, whereas the Elation main push is not really doing super well because the gap between the Remembrance and Elation flagship is like around a 5,000 difference at E0S1. And on top of that, something very interesting is Evernight main DPS is actually the fastest clear as a E0S1 main DPS. Holy, that is a lot of tier 0s, guys. Which basically means if you are somebody that are running a... Okay, I guess main DPS and sub DPS, the difference is so small, you can't really tell, right? It's like less than 200 points of difference, and this is definitely going to be a much smaller sample size. So definitely more towards the elitists, whereas the larger sample size, it will always be affected by the casuals, right? So from these clears, you are probably going to be getting a couple of like 38, 37Ks. But yep, generally, Remembrance flagship is going to be doing very, very well. Acheron, I don't even know why I said the name. Sparxie, a whopping 1,000 point increase, seeing a 40% usage rate, definitely because of our Remembrance. Oh, I'm so sorry, my brain is so cooked, guys. Definitely because of our Elation flagship using Sparxie as of this moment, alongside with a DOT, right? Alongside with DOT and the little red over here that is Hue. I would say Hue's performance being in the top category, it is actually not too surprising because not only does she work very well with DOT, she also works really, really well with the Elation flagship. That being said, this only accounts for clears, by the way, right? It doesn't account how many times you reset because a certain sustain can't fucking sustain. Alright, this is only after the clears. Alright, so for those Hue clears that actually happen, that's gonna be the score, which is obviously gonna be really, really good because you actually sustained that stage after grinding out the RNG, right, at E0S1. So that is gonna be done. Kafka is gonna be DOT, Team is gonna be Team going down by a decent amount here, and that is actually E0 Team still maintaining roughly the first 2 rows, which is gonna be very nice. Asheville actually being our 4th fastest clear following Remembrance, Elation, as well as DOT into a Fu Xuan. I don't even know who is using Fu Xuan, but that is an impressive amount of 32, actually slightly edging out over DHPT, but this is a more than 65% gap of usage, right? So there are a lot of players using the free unit, which is why I would say this score is definitely gonna be more towards the general population. And this is gonna be Asheville as a sub DPS performing a little bit worse, which means that I should see Feixiao doing quite well, right? Wait, where is Feixiao, guys? Okay, you know what? At the end of the day, chat, at the end of the day, do you guys see this? Feixiao cleared faster than Cabin Castellana. Enough said, guys. Right? Enough said.
The greatest Feixiao-agenda pusher that has ever lived.
E0 final is dead as a brick, and guess what? Do you think E0 Feixiao is not? Alright, this is E0 to E0. Very, very fair. And okay, you might say this is like a 1% situation. To that, I say, would you look at that, guys? Maida is getting a very nice little 30k clear at 1.99%, which is quite okay. Then Super Break is gonna be coming in at 29. So everyone else from here on out is gonna be a little bit under the 30k category, and that actually includes Jade and the Herta. The erudition units actually cannot clear 30k, guys. Wait, is there a single erudition unit that cleared 30k? Oh. Wait. The only erudition unit that cleared 30k is the 0.39% our Genti. Who the hell is he even a sub DPS for? Okay, I'm guessing this has to be for the Herta. So are you saying that the Herta's score got dragged down because people are running sub DPS Anexa instead of sub DPS Argenti? Because there are no other sub DPS, right? You don't run bro as a sub DPS for any other unit. So that is pretty... Okay, granted, it is a very... Okay, this is basically the Sarah 1, Sarah 2, and Sarah 3, right? For the 0.3%. So very, very interesting information over here. Jade is gonna be done. This is done. Baby Herta actually slightly clearing out faster than D Herta, which means that both D Herta's sub DPS actually clear a little bit faster because she is always gonna be dragged down by the other sub DPS, namely at this point, Anexa. Which is definitely very interesting considering the fact that Baby Herta actually has a higher appearance than Anexa. So very, very nice over here. Lingsha is gonna be clearing a little bit faster than Firefly, and this is after the Dahlia introduction, which is gonna be a little bit sus. But that being said, I would like to introduce to break players this one thing. It's called the sustainless clears. Alright, let's try running our sustainless clears a little bit better. And then we can see how that's gonna be. Okay, granted, it is full E0, so maybe full E0, you can't even do sustainless, which is probably why Firefly needs the buff, even though I don't even know what this unit does anymore. Let's move on a little bit more, and that's gonna be Himiko as a break DPS. Car is gonna be done. Sunday is Giga done. I don't even know why is Reba and Erudition Han DPS fuck ass, which is gonna be not doing too good in pure fiction anymore. Feixiao is the gold. Finon is done. Gallagher is kind of homeless. Who the fuck is running main DPS Anexa? This is gonna be Bronya getting up a little bit higher than Agalea. And generally speaking, bro, this pure fiction looks kind of cool, guys. Or is it just me? There are less than 20 units in the entire game that cleared more than 30k. That is a really, really rough pure fiction average score. Okay, you know what? Actually, it's not that bad. You know why? Because I'm assuming everyone that is a casual gamer probably put it for the Remembrance flagship. So if you are gonna be securing 39k on average on one side, I think that's why the other side is so weak, because they just went all in for side 1. So if you combine this with the other side, you are still getting 60k on average, right? That is a pretty fair statement. Then for the pay to wins, or like the players that want to chase double flagship, it is gonna be Remembrance side 1 as well as Elation side 2. So you're definitely gonna be getting a very, very solid more than 60k clear. But if you don't get a second flagship, your team 2 is gonna be looking a bit rough unless you play DOT and I guess brand new Asheville. And every other unit except for Maide and Argenti is not gonna be clearing above the 30k benchmark, right? So very, very, very interesting. Let's just see how E0 S1 is gonna be doing. Okay, actually, you know what? I don't even think E0 S0 is playable anymore, but out of pure curiosity. Wow, E0S0 actually still has a 38k clear on E0S0. Interesting. Okay, wait, the units that got E0S0 actually didn't change that much. Like, they didn't drastically fall off. They minus like maybe like less than 2,000 points, and they are kind of chill. Yeah, like those that cleared are still clearing, and those that can't clear, it is what it is. Okay, E2S1, and that is gonna be holy fuck. Oh. Okay, chat. If this doesn't prove that Feixiao needs a buff, then I don't know what will, bro. Bro went from a lower score than Feixiao at 27k, and the moment he gets E2, boom! And he instantly shoots up to the second fastest clearing DPS, right? So with all due respect to a Feixiao haters, if you were gonna be a Feixiao main, that 2 cost should have definitely went into Feixiao's E2 instead of pulling for, I don't know, like a fucking E0S1 Sunday. Or whatever the fuck you're pulling for it. So that is gonna be a Feixiao insane upgrade. And then we do have a little bit more with the DOTs getting 39. Bronya is single-handedly getting carried by Feixiao. I know that for a fact. Teeb is doing 39. 38 is good. 38. This is also Feixiao. Bro, Feixiao is single-handedly carrying the version 1 girls. The version 1 supports. Is you know, there's like the new Demon Slayer. There's like the ninja guy, right? The stone ninja, the wind sonic ninja guy. And then he has like 3 wives. So like Feixiao is like that guy. And then this is wife number 1, wife number 2, wife number 3, right? And yeah, tanking. He literally is tanking, bro. So that is gonna be that we have a couple of My Day over here. Spargo, DRS clearing very well. 37k, very good. Even Boot Hill is gonna be clearing over here. Firefly is actually... Wait, Firefly somehow cleared worse than Boot Hill on E2. That is surprising. Okay, but to be fair, this is literally like literal one guy. 0.07% is a literal one guy, right? And then this is in what do you call it? Influenced by the casual E2 Firefly mains. So and then what to do? And then Reba is just basically done. And all those other units is gonna be looking quite interesting. Okay, this is a lie, by the way. All right, this is a fucking lie, right? There's no way in God's green earth that one Feixiao guy using E2 Feixiao is getting a 30k Feixiao clear, because I have literally did a 40k Feixiao run in pure fiction when I used her with a competition against my E6 Acheron. Title of the video, who is the strongest? It is literally the icon for my main push. So I have literally done a E2 Feixiao getting 40k. So this is straight up slender and lie, and I will not accept this. And Prydwen should definitely start jumping, right? And all those other units are gonna be unplayable, so that is gonna be very, very good. We are now gonna be moving on into the continuous usage rate. All right. Okay, I really just don't really care too much about usage because it's always the same picture. DOT actually went up by quite a decent amount, which is gonna be quite nice. Actually, in fact, DOT has a higher usage than Elation. Only MrPokke knows how to use wife, and there it is. All those other things is gonna be looking quite interesting. Feixiao is gonna be having a higher appearance than the Herta. So Redra, Firefly is actually not gonna be as popular as compared to back in those days. Acheron is still relatively okay. I'm actually quite surprised that people are still running Acheron in the big 2-6, so that's gonna be that. Feixiao is not doing too good. Nobody plays Yun Li, who is E2 Dale, and that's gonna be a... Okay, whoever this guy is, that is absolutely crazy. Let's just move on to the actual performance over time. So once again, the triple tier 0. The triple tier 0 with evernight, slightly a lot more of a lowered rate, so a lot more elitist, and this is a lot more casual. So casual is definitely the best performing DPS, to no one's surprise. Sparxie Blair is actually doing quite well because obviously we have the Elation Show environment. Asheville debuts at 3.2, which is, I guess, a little bit okay considering the fact that he's still Hunt, right? At the end of the day, he's still a Hunt unit. So 32 is gonna be 32. DOT with My Day actually out clearing D Herta at My Day actually out clearing D Herta at E0, which is absolutely fucking insane. Then okay, but to event is also gonna be a little bit more of a one guy scenario. D Herta into Firefly, Rabba is cooked, and all those other units are just not gonna be doing too good anymore. I cannot believe that. Okay, chat, considering... Wait, where is Blade? Bro, I'm pretty sure Blade would do quite okay for Pure Vision, no? How is Blade this bad in Pure Vision? Because he's gonna be getting like a lot of hits. Since he's gonna be using the exact same team as My Day as well. And the fact that Jingliu cleared faster than Blade is a little bit crazy. The mobs are just too tanky. I see. HP inflation is HP inflation. Evernight is still gonna be the best of DPS. DOT is gonna be DOT. Argenti went up a little bit for the one guy. Same thing for Jade. All others are not gonna be doing too good. Oh, Ezreal as a sub DPS is... Oh, good the buckle, right? Waiting for the brand new version for follow-up DPS to come out eventually when we go to IPC Island. So that's gonna be that. Cyrene still the undisputed tier 0 by a whole ass almost 5,000 points. Literally by almost 5,000 point difference. Definitive tier 0 to Cyrene. As a matter of fact, you could literally just screenshot this. This is how you should be playing Honkai Star Rail. Alright? Literally. Oh, wait, you can't even do this because... Oh, right. Because every main DPS has an Elitist. The Elitist ruined the Remembrance flagship screenshot. Because this should be castorice. So as you're going to run castorice, evernight, Cyrene, and that's going to be very good over there. RMC is going to be followed by Teep. Yao Guang is doing quite okay. I'm getting her. She's going to be... I'm probably guessing Yao Guang, when she comes out into the next Pure Vision, she's going to be coming to 2nd place. Because of Silver Knight, right? Then HMC, Sparxie is actually doing not too good. Fagu with Dahlia is gonna be chilling. And all those other units are gonna be done. Holy shit, everyone else is just... Damn. It is what it is. The sustain, Huan actually topping out DHPT. But, number one, everyone uses DHPT. And number two, this is only gonna be considering those clears that actually took place. So if you reset because you died with Huan in game, it doesn't count, right? It doesn't count. That's why Huan literally has an inflated score, because if she can sustain, she'll make you clear faster. But if she can't sustain, you're done, right? So I think going forward, a little suggestion to Prydwen, going forward, for every single Huan clear, you count the failures. Count the times where Huan failed to sustain, and then give that a default 0, then take that as an average. Right? I want to see how that score is going to be like, right? In any case, there's going to be like, oh, I'm an asshole. Okay, I see it is what it is. Okay, Fu Shen actually clearing a little bit faster than Avenging, which is quite interesting. Then there's going to be Gallagher. All that other stuff is going to be a little bit chill, right? Huan needs more healing. You're absolutely fucking right. Final 7 into the team's usage rate, and that is going to be... Okay, so to no one's surprise, it's gonna be flagship main push 1, flagship main push 2. And then if you do not want to use main push 2, you can use main push 2, right? Literally double 40k both halves. Even on my free-to-play account, this has been demonstrably proven to be true. So main push for Remembrance is simply really strong. And I kind of just want to use this as an example. What rises up must fall down. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Super Break back in those days. Back when Super Break came out, it was definitively Super Break. And everything else was nowhere close to what Super Break was capable of achieving. It was not even close. But eventually, how did they make Super Break fall in line? Anti-flagship, right? The toughness lock, the HP inflation, the toughness bar inflation. Alright, the wingless lock mechanic, which later got be solved by Dahlia, but it doesn't still fix the fundamental problem of you still needing to break the enemy, right? Harder and harder difficulty to do sustainless clears, right? I think we can all agree back then, it was a lot easier to do sustainless with Swim Break than it is now. So going forward in the future, right? I personally think there's no way in God's green earth that Remembrance is going to maintain rank 1, especially at 40k. I think the way they're going to do it is not only will they release the Elation flagship main push, they will also release enemies that will counter Remembrance. I'm talking Grievous Wound, Torn Mail, Anti-Heal, right? Max HP reduction, right? Heal locking, guys. You literally cannot heal with heal lock. And then the sustain for Elation is gonna be a fucking shielder. I think that's what's gonna happen, right? Mark my words on this video, and if this does come to prophecy, then you have been here first on MrPokke, right? DOT is gonna be the next most popular. Then they will release Shield Fatso. And there it is. So it is gonna be DOT followed by DOT, and it's just gonna be Firefly, which is looking a little bit cool, and then more Remembrance, more flagship, more flagship. Bro, honestly, I don't think there's another unit with a gap as wide as Finance as Chiefs, bro. This unit's differential between an E0 to an E1 plus is absolutely insane, right? No other unit has that big of a gap, which just goes to show how impactful that E2 really is. Like, even for an E2 Firefly, right, the gap is only going to be 6,500, right? Around 6.5k. This is more than 12k difference, bro. Right? That's double, by the way. That's straight up double of the gap you are going to be getting from a E2 to from an E0, right? So E2 final for final mains, if you're wondering what is your best vertical cost investment, the answer is definitively E2 final. So just go ahead and hard dictate Ego, and you should be completely fine. Then this is gonna be very chill, right? We have a sustainless clear, which is gonna be still getting 31k, which is gonna be quite good at full E0. A lot of castorice, a lot of DOT. Some homeless people are running the Herta. I don't think the okay. Actually, what I'm actually a little bit curious. What the fuck is that? How is an E0 getting 40k and the E1 plus doing worse than the E0? What? Okay, I have no idea what is going on, but this is definitely a one guy scenario. This team is interesting though. Oh wait, chat, we could try this team. Evernight car. Bro, not RMC, not Teep. Car with Cyrene Hyacinth. Full E0, 40k clear. That is really interesting. So we're gonna see what's up. Then this is gonna be the Elation flagship without Sparkle. So the Sparkle clear that got 40k actually requires a stainless. Oh, it's the wheelchair, guys. Oh my god, it's an old wheelchair plus a new wheelchair. So it's two different wheelchairs, which I guess you could say it's a wheel car. You get it? Because it's like two wheelchairs is like 4 wheels. So it's like a car. Subscribe for more HSR jokes.
Shut up, bitch!
If I was Leon, I guess you could say that's a wheel car. Bro, y'all would be like, oh my god, Leon is so funny. Anyways, this is gonna be Asheville with a Jade and the old wheelchair. Alright, W. Alright, W. Very good. Mr. Simbly, absolutely. Then we do have a lot of them. Okay, so Elation is actually... Okay, I have no idea how this happened, by the way. Like, a E0 to do 40k and an E1 to do worse than 40k. I don't even know how that is possible, but Gathers of State. Very, very interesting. Then we have a couple more DOT runs. A lot of variations for evernight main DPS, by the way. So we have an evernight main DPS with car, evernight main DPS with sustainless, evernight main DPS with the OG wheelchair, and evernight main DPS with an RMC. All of them at E0, all of them at 40k. The first castorice 0 cycle, or not even, okay, barely 0 cycle, is the OG Remembrance, right? The OG flagship, which does have a much higher appearance. So I would say, generally speaking, on average, most players would have a easier time running this, right? Unless you know what you're doing, I probably don't think this is gonna be the way to go, right? And then this is gonna be evernight, castorice, evernight. Like, okay, the top 10 teams for both halves, I think I have not seen a phase more common than Cyrene and evernight. Okay, maybe this. I don't even know what this is, but this team is pretty interesting, right? The Cyrene main DPS with a DHPT. I don't even know why DHPT instead of highest seed, but it's DHPT at E0, right? So very interesting. With that, before we wrap up this video, let's just take a quick look. At some dedicated team comps. Number 1.
Where's Feixiao?
Okay, you know what, guys? Look at that. Bro, 37k? 38k, guys. That is an impressive ass fucking clear. Alright, that is an impressive ass fucking clear, guys. Right? Is that not impressive? I think that is an impressive clear, right? Yeah, it is really good for a version 2. We're just gonna ignore Acheron, but that is really good, right? Now let's take a look at Acheron. Is that fucking Acheron? Holy shit. Acheron is the best Acheron team. I don't even know what the fuck this is, by the way. Sustain? Bro, is the Acheron sustain, guys? Is the Acheron sustain? Acheron kills when jumps in, replaces as the sustain slot. Because why sustain with heals when you can just kill the enemy with your ultimate? There we go. Also, we do see a couple of Jiao Qius here and there, which is a refreshing sight, right? A refreshing sight. Other than that, it is gonna be a little bit rough, generally speaking. TLDR, Feixiao wins. It is what it is.
The greatest Feixiao-agenda pusher that has ever lived.
Let's take a look at Erudition, right? Let's take a look at Erudition. Herta. Okay, Sustainless Herta is doing quite okay. Alright, Sustainless is doing quite okay. This is the only Herta team with a sustain. 36k though. Chat, 36k is still pretty good. Alright, with Cyrene and Hyacinth. I don't even know how the fuck did the E1 Plus go from 36k to 31k. Like, what is going on, guys? Like, did the numbers get swapped or like what's going on? There's just no way, bro. There's actually just no way. So, no way, right? Bro, how the fuck did this team get 34k and the E1 Plus not cleared? The E1 Plus died in-game. Oh, they were using auto, guys. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. You know what? That makes sense, right? The E1 Plus players are the whales who don't know how to play the game, so they just press one button and let it go. And the E0 players, they're sweaty. They are very sweaty, just like my armpits, and then they are just gonna sweat it out, right? And then they will get the more sweaty clear, right? A lot of other clears, mainly involving T, right? Couple of Argenti, couple of JT and there. Pretty interesting. What the hell? Sparkle. Very interesting. Wait, okay. One last two things, because we do need to watch our reverse 1999 stream soon. One last thing, guys. Because I want to use this as a thumbnail as well. The Sparkle doing this. And then Sunday. Perfection. Sparkle's clears at the moment. Ooh. Okay, to be fair, a lot of it is carried by Sparxie. Alright. A lot of Sparxie carries. We do have a Sustainless Anexa doing 37k, which is pretty crazy. This is the Azure with Sparkle. Oh, E1 plus Azure with Sparkle is actually kind of nuts as well. This is really, really good. Then a lot of Sparxie. We have a Finon, but it's pretty much just all Sparxie. So I would say Sparkle definitely got boosted by Sparxie, and I unfortunately don't see a single Archer. So I guess Archer is not gonna be doing too. What the Sparkle Sustainless DOT. Okay, I have no fucking idea what's going on over there. Then we have a couple. Okay, we do have an E1 plus Archer clear right there. It's gonna be quite good. And then one last unit, Mr. Sunday. Okay, you know what? Sunday is also not that bad. Right, he's not that bad. I think they are both kind of comparable. One is carried by Sparxie. One is carried by Asheville. Right, the latest shield unit. Sunday is definitely getting quite a bit of a boost over there. This Aglaya Sustainers team kind of cooking though. Right, Aglaya Sustainers is at E0 is definitely kind of cooking, considering we're not even going to be running DHPT. Then the rest is just a lot of Ashvilles. Is that main DPS Himiko? Crit DPS Himiko. Interesting. Main DPS. Leash. Okay, that is very, very interesting. The Argenti Hyper. This is Sarah, chat. Chat, say hi to Sarah. That is Sarah's team, right? Very, very good. The classic Argenti Hyper Carry W, absolute fucking cinema. Then other than that is a lot of Finons, a lot of Agile. So basically, Sunday supports the men, right? He supports the men plus Aglaya, and then Sparkle just supports herself. All right, Bro just supports herself. Yeah, I guess we have a couple of Archer clears here and there, but in terms of like higher score, it is just herself. Self-cessed. Plus the next out, right? So with that, we are gonna come into the end of our Prydwen Pure Fiction Analytics to kind of give a quick summary. Remembrance will never fall off. DOT is crazy. Huan is a good sustain. Sparkle made Sunday relatable. Firefly needs a buff. Feixiao is the best DPS. Word of the day is word of the day. Join this, go. Use code POKE or 10% game yourself. All the best. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you, chat.